Today at Business Coffee, our guest is Penelope Yotis, owner of En Cachette Speak Easy.
Welcome, Penelope, to Business Coffee. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I know that you're the owner of En Cachette, which is a bar, but previously to that you had owned a restaurant. Can you tell me what happened with that restaurant, basically?
Well, my mother and I had purchased a restaurant in 2005, and we were renting from this building complex where there was 14 enterprises, and the landlord had wanted to build condos, so he was slowly evicting everyone in the business complex. We were the last ones remaining. We had a solid buy until 2013, and we had set a court date to figure out what would happen. He got impatient and had already started selling the condos, and once he had sold X amount of condos, he needed to build. So one morning we got a call from one of my clients, and basically they're like, you should really come to the restaurant, there's bulldozers. So once we arrived, it was too late. Like, he had bulldozed the whole restaurant with my equipment and everything inside. So from there was choices to be made. Like, what would we do? Like, I had various possibilities. I could go to the media and start like this upheaval and huge scandal. I could go after him and sue him, which would cost a lot of time and money and emotional strain. My lawyers were like, oh, it's going to take a year and a half, it's going to cost $30,000, or I could settle for compensation. And I decided for my emotional health, for my life, for money, basically to settle for a compensation. And in the meanwhile, I had found my location for my bar. So I said, you know what, I need to move on, leave the past in the past, and quickly rebuild myself again, because once you hit a down spiral, it's very easy to just let yourself slide. And a new business for me was something that could help me go through this difficult time. It was very therapeutic to start a new project. So basically that's how I got from being in the restaurant business to being in the bar industry.
Are you still involved? Is your mother still part of your project?
Well, what happened is I had found the bar, and it was initially a restaurant that held a bar license. So it took me 3 months to renovate. My dad's great with his hands, so for 3 months, me, my dad, and my mother, we worked in the bar. We basically built everything on our own. We didn't hire any construction workers or anything. And my mother was in the kitchen at my previous restaurant, and at the bar, I do have a kitchen, and I had to utilize it. So she helped me put the menu together. She helped me train the new people that are taking over the kitchen. And yeah, for sure, my family has been a great support in everything I do. We're kind of like a unit. We've always been taught to work together, and my parents have been entrepreneurs their whole lives. I think that I definitely take part of that from them, for sure.
Do you think it's a common trend for entrepreneurs to have their family with them?
I think for first generations immigrants, I think it's a very, very common trend. Usually immigrants come, they rely on their family very much, and they often come for new opportunities, and opening a business is definitely an opportunity that a lot of immigrants take. So I think they instill in their children this we're going to stick together, we're a family, and we're going to help you build a business if you need a business, build a house if you need a house. I think it's a common cultural trend for everyone, for a lot of immigrants to do that with their kids.
So what do you think will be the main skills to start a business?
Main skills to start a business? Wow, that's a really difficult question. I think definitely hard work, for one. I don't know if that's considered a skill or if it's innate, but I think definitely you shouldn't be afraid to dedicate a lot of your time to your business. Therefore, if you don't like your project, don't even bother starting, because there is no point to it. I think a business plan is something that a lot of young entrepreneurs are like, I have this great idea, let's go through with it 100%. No. I think that you have to take a step back and realize that maybe your idea isn't plausible or isn't. So making a business plan is extremely important, and a lot of young entrepreneurs forget that you have to think through everything because you don't know what might happen. The biggest thing in business, which a lot of people forget, is you have to continuously evolve. Like, it's not you set a recipe and you're gonna follow that recipe forever. No, that's like, even if you're the best restaurant, after 25 years, if you still have the same decor, if you still have the same old staff, it's not gonna work. There's this, look at Apple. They're continuously evolving their product, and that's what you should do. You should never think that you have the perfect product. No, it's perfect for the moment, and then you continue, and then you can work on it. There's always work.
Room for
Oh yeah,
improvement.
always.
What motivates you then to wake up in the morning and go to your bar or go to your projects?
It's definitely watching something grow and being part of something that's growing. It's like I've always wanted children, and I can't, and I think a business is like a child, and you watch it grow and you teach it how to learn and you make friends, and I think that you really have to understand that it's a process, and I love the process. For sure, I love the process of watching it grow. That's basically what makes me, those days where you hit the great sales and you're like, oh man, what a great day, or when somebody comes up to you and it's like, oh, your bar is amazing, I love the way it feels, and you're like, okay, this is what I like, versus like, oh, I have to pay this bill, I have to pay that bill,
So that's not the fun part of the
No, that's definitely not the fun part of the business, but it's the day-to-day, so you gotta be aware of everything that entails, It's not all fun having a bar.
Yeah, being a woman, what do you think, because this is say that women think and act like men when they're in business. What do you think, what is your thought about that?
I think people say that because we still live in a very patriarchal society. I think if you as a woman follow your instincts, I don't think you have to behave like a man to be a good entrepreneur. I think we have great instincts, women have. And I think their conflict resolution skills are much better than men's, sorry. So the way I think women deal with problems is a different way than with men. And I think a lot of women adopt these male traits because they're in a male-dominated environment, like, politics and law and business, male-dominated. But like when you're running your own business, you set your own rules. And I think like the way I communicate with my employees is much different than the way a male would communicate with his employees. And I think as women, we need to trust our instincts. Like, people associate like instincts with emotion and being sensitive, and I think there is no correlation. I think like women should like really, whatever they feel is what they feel, and I think that's extremely important, and not to be denigrated by any means in the business world.
If I have to sum up everything, what will be your main message for entrepreneurs that would like to start the business?
Be passionate, definitely believe in your product. You can't go in and
Halfway.
Yeah, I was gonna say another word, but I'm not gonna say it. Surround yourself with people you trust. Be very well surrounded. Lawyer, accountant.
Have a great team internally and a great team
Know that you
externally.
can't do everything yourself, that you're going to have to delegate eventually. And confidence. I can't stress enough about believing in your product and believing in yourself. It's definitely important. It translates in the business.
Well, I want to thank you, Penelope, for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. It's very fun.
Thank you.